December.
This year has been really long, so we're all tired. But for the last episode, because it's the last episode, obviously we have to do a recap and a reflection of everything all the things we remember that happened this year, all the things that were impactful this year. All right.
Hey guys, this is Anesu, aka Nyati Shonga.
Hello, my name is Chido, aka Chizzy.
Wagwan.
Advocate Amanda here.
Hi everyone, this is Kuda, aka Cooks.
Hi, and welcome to
As Told by Us,
the podcast. This is a weekly podcast where 4 professional millennials discuss living in Zimbabwe and trying to figure life out.
Someone once told us the grass is much greener on the other side. But from where we're standing, our grass is green.
Subscribe, like,
Share, comment down below.
Welcome to the last episode of As Told by Us. Guys, this year has been long.
How are we in December?
December. This year has been really long, so we're all tired. But for the last episode, because it's the last episode, obviously we have to do a recap and a reflection of everything all the things we remember that happened this year, all the things that were impactful this year. All right. Do you guys want to start with a personal reflection or a worldwide reflection?
Worldwide. World star.
We worldwide. Also, guys, hello. I never said hi. Hey. Okay, so all the things that happened this year from the beginning. Do we remember? I don't know from the beginning. I'm just gonna go in.
I'm gonna had Ziggy Zaga.
Yeah.
What month was that? Must have been April.
Mm-hmm. April. We had the introduction of the currency of Zimbabwe, the current Zimbabwean currency of Zimbabwe. We don't know how long it'll last, but the current one right now is the ZIG. That was introduced in April, like we said. How do you think it's going? Is it going?
It is going.
Has anyone seen a live ZIG yet? For real. Like an actual physical thing. I still haven't seen one.
Like the notes. Really?
The notes. I saw one coin.
It took quite a while for the notes to come through, hey?
Yeah. To be fair. But I haven't
they said the notes will come within the week of this announcement and then
that was it.
I am handing over 10 zig to Kuda right now.
Thank you.
How much is 10 zig in
I don't even know. It's not even close to $1.
You know what this looks like? It looks like a beta check.
Yeah.
Right?
I think you are just traumatized.
But this looks like a beta check.
Is that
I have 10 dirhams.
Ooh. Okay, come on, Daryl. Ooh. Who's this cutie? Hey.
One of the chic.
I love. Okay, so now I've seen a ZIG. Never mind.
Yeah, so the zig came. It was gold backed. I don't know if it still is.
No, they said
it was allegedly gold backed.
I remember reading something that they didn't mean when they said gold backed. They didn't actually mean this is how much gold we have in the reserves. Because initially that's what we thought.
So why use that terminology? If
they were just saying, Kuti, that there is gold
in Zimbabwe.
Oh wow! It doesn't mean this is what we currently have in the vault. It just means in the country, this is how much gold we think we can collect. Is what they meant. That's what they meant by going.
What's the barcode about?
It just says.
It takes you to the Reserve Bank.
Yeah.
I don't understand economics.
Google search.
You can make a currency based on a speculation, like an estimation.
currencies are backed by two things, right? Either it's gold or it's oil, depending on where you're from. And the value of the gold and oil at the time, right? That's normally what people base it on.
Okay.
Because those two things, the rate or currencies or selling price doesn't change. It's normally or if it does, it's like a small bit. So if they're stable minerals, and that's what people back it on. How they decide the value, like for me, how you woke up and said Zig is 13.5 of gold.
I don't know how the math.
I don't know how that math.
There was a formula that they introduced, and then in October,
Based
the
on
Zig
which
then
economic
lost.
principle? What economic principle was?
It was Zig. It's gold backed.
Okay.
Right.
Big economics.
Exactly. And then they said this was good. I mean, there was a point where they threatened that like this will be the only currency that Zim will be using. They're going to de-dollarize. And I don't know.
We're in December and
we haven't yet. But I think it's going to be very difficult for them to do it. But they can force us into it.
I think also another thing, you mentioned that currency is like sometimes usually backed by either gold or oil, right? But I think it's also important. Like currency is based on trust. It's a trust thing, right? Like if your people trust that this gives me enough buying power,
Right.
then people will also buy into that. I think it also has a lot to do with like it's a psychological thing as well. Like people in America know our currency is strong and they back it up and they use it. They use their currency, but whereas here, I don't know if the sentiment is the same to say
No.
we really trust Zikizaga.
No.
And I'm okay to receive my salary in Zikizaga. I'm okay to go overseas with my Zikizaga in my card and you still use that Zikizaga in Dubai.
No, you can't. You can't. Even if we wanted to, you can't.
So,
but I think, you know how we always think that like Zimbabweans are very passive? Like we don't like protest. We don't really like go out to the streets.
But we love memes.
We love a good meme. But I actually think we did almost like a silent protest with the Zig. With what Chid is saying, right? We never bought into the idea. I don't think Zimbabweans really bought into the idea of it. And we just said, okay, you guys do what you're doing with the Zig. We're going to be out here with the US dollar. And I can't, no one took it seriously. I don't think anyone takes it seriously. I think there are those that were forced into a situation where let's say like your salaries have to be in Zig, particularly if you work for the government. But I think the majority of people that had the choice of Zig or USD silently just said USD. We're going to be USD.
But for me, the thing is like, the government was not accepting Zikizaga.
They still don't. They don't even want it.
So
they don't even want it.
I think with your comment, Shido, to say it's a confidence-based thing, so they were supposed to instill that confidence. To be like, okay, guys, you can now buy fuel in Zig.
Right. You
can now do this, and the other in Zig. But if you don't give me that, then I'll obviously not feel free to use the local currency. Because I always say, no, let me just use the USD.
Yeah.
Because as a citizen, you are entitled to a local currency. I feel like people in Kenya are actually fighting right now to only use their currency and not the USD. Because the thing is backed. 1, 2, they're confident. And you can actually like trade. Kenya and Tanzania can trade properly in that currency.
That's true.
So until such a time as we can actually have Zig in our wallets and we can use it properly. For now, it's a long journey.
Yeah.
Hey,
we're not quite
just
there
too
yet.
small to be having words and words of Zig, please.
Well, it's because you don't know how, like you asked, how much does that translate into? We don't know. And because we don't know, if I go into a shop, I don't know what it's worth today.
And the fact that there's the parallel market just To the government's defense.
Let's hear it.
They're trying, right? They're trying. But then the parallel market just is not helping the situation.
It's not.
It's not helping.
What's the rate now? Doesn't anyone even know?
I don't know.
Officially, it's in the 20s. Parallel should be 36, 35.
You see, so for as long as a parallel market exists, and if I'm on the market for Zig or whatever, I'm all like, people are just gonna. Oh, this year was when people were getting arrested for
money changing.
Money changing.
That happened to you this year. That happened to you this year, actually. But didn't that happen with RTGS also?
Not to this extent.
It wasn't as serious.
Wasn't as bad.
Because with Zig, they were really trying to have that stability. Because remember, the rate stayed more or less stable up until about October, when they then officially said, okay, we're devaluing it, and it lost like about half of its value. But before then, they were quite aggressive about maintaining what the rate was, because the idea was the value of gold is stable. So if you apply this formula, if gold hasn't been changing, then
the rate
there's no reason why the rate should change. And in fact, the price of gold has gone up recently, but the Zig is going down.
Hey there, lovely listeners. So listen, running a podcast in Zimbabwe is quite the journey. It requires resources. And when I say resources, I mean money, time, and effort. Wondering how you can support us? Well, we've got you covered with Inbox. Or World Remit if you're on the other side of the world and you'd love to contribute. Our Inbox number is 077-810-3171. Whether it's the cost of a cup of coffee or a virtual high five, every little bit of your support counts. Remember, supporting our podcast isn't about funding our caffeine addiction, though it is in part, but your support keeps our podcast alive and thriving and helps us create more content, ensuring that our laughter echoes through your devices. Thanks again for being part of our community and for listening.
Okay, another news. Donald Trump got shot this year.
Oh, yes.
And then he won the US elections. So you tell me what you think about that. Are those two things related? Do you think it was a stunt? Do you think he really got shot for real? I mean, probably shame. He got shot for real. But whether or not it was a planned assassination, he planned it, somebody else planned it, we don't know. But this was also the year that I think we're still undecided, to be fair, because he hasn't come in yet. We'll only know next year what the real effects of Donald Trump becoming president are. I think a lot of the things are still speculation. A lot of the things is miscommunication and misunderstanding. Like right now with the tariff situation, I don't think the Americans actually understand how it works. There are very few that do get it. But they're still trying to figure out who pays these tariffs. Is it China or is it the US? Who's going to pay, right? So we will only know what he will do, because he might change his mind once he's now in office. We don't know. But President-elect Trump is back. Baby is back. Now, do you think that will have any significant effect on us?
Sanctions.
But we got removed from the sanctions list this year. That happened this year.
So now I'm thinking.
Go back. Okay. Yeah, we might go back on the sanctions list next year.
I don't know, hey. Maybe not.
Maybe, I hope not. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's not the one that makes
honestly, I feel
that
like
decision. But that was a good thing that happened actually for us this year. For Zimbabweans. People got released.
I still feel sanctioned, guys. I don't know.
Do you feel sanctioned?
In a broader sense, I feel like there's a tax on being Zimbabwean in the global
That's super
field.
existential.
Because it's about, that passport, that nationality limits you so much. America will say we're not sanctioned, but can you make money on TikTok? Are we monetizing this podcast right now? On a global scale. Yeah.
And you know what? To be fair, on that point, Zimbabwe was never sanctioned. Zimbabwe itself was never sanctioned.
It's a sanction to be born.
It just is like the association. And because we've been blacklisted as a country, the association with the country is the problem. But now, okay, tell me how you feel about this. Our passports, those still green, are now SADC, right? The e-passport is a SADC passport. Our driver's license, though they expire now after 5 years, and are not the metal, right? I still have my metal one. I'm not letting that one go.
I'm not letting
Sorry.
that go.
I'm not
I fought for the metal one.
I'm not going to let it go.
Because do you know how difficult it is to get a medical license?
But then also the metal ones don't expire, right?
Yeah.
These new ones, the SADC ones, do expire. After 5 years, I don't know if you go back and retest. I don't know what that does.
Yeah.
But
I'm supposed to retest.
now that we are shifting from being like Zimbabwean passports and Zimbabwean driver's license, maybe even Zimbabwean IDs eventually, do we think having a SADC one will make any change, make any difference? Or no?
No.
Make a difference to what?
I don't know. Like maybe
accessibility to the world.
Yeah. Like maybe we'll be able to move a bit freely. I don't know. I mean, we never had a visa for SA. Well, we don't have a visa for SA. We don't need one. We don't need a visa to Zambia. We don't need a visa to...
Yeah, but that's to go in for 30 days. They still don't want us.
Okay, that changes nothing. Never mind. Okay.
Speaking of SADC, remember how we had the SADC summit and all the roads were... Guys,
That was this year.
that was this year. Hey, 2 hours to get home. 3 even.
When did it start getting serious? Because the summit was in August. And then round about May, they were like, oh, SADC is coming. Whole country.
I don't know. I'm a bit pissed about that.
Yeah.
Only because I don't live or work where the roads were fixed. Right? So those that benefited were like those that were on the way to the new parliament. So where's the benefit for me? What's my benefit? What do I get?
But you're talking as someone in Harare. Right? Because generally for Harare, things are spruced up, I won't even lie. Even if maybe you don't live along Second or that's not your daily commute, but everywhere else in the country, your Vic Falls highway is a nightmare. There's roads that are literally a death threat in the country that have had no attention.
Do you know there's a road actually called like Danger or something? You know the one where the kids died?
Where there was that
Falcon died this year.
That was this year. But that road that they were on was actually called Danger.
It is called Danger. I've been
Because
that
it's a
my
bad
whole
road.
life. There's people dying on the road every single day in this country, and it's needless accidents. Nothing else is done around, and it's like, okay, overnight suddenly you have the resources to undo roads that were more or less okay. For what? To show face
and to put palm
for a
trees.
moment.
It's only in Harare.
It's only in Harare. Yeah. So maybe we can say for 2025, dear government, please fix everybody else. Try.
The thing is, the premise is that it wasn't for us.
It wasn't.
So we were told that you are the chairman of SADC. Everyone is the chairman of SADC.
What is that?
Zimbabwe is the chairman of SADC. Therefore, you are the chairman of SADC.
This is a rotating chair.
And it's not even elected.
There's literally 4 people who can do it. So every mean, now and then everyone's going to get a chance.
Everyone's going to be chair of Senate. But whilst we're there, then the parliament, they had no electricity a couple of days ago. Or electricity went. It's not that they had
During a sitting.
But during a sitting in the new built parliament with the nice roads, the electricity went, and there was a lot of look to the left, look to the right, what is happening? We don't understand why we're in the dark.
I think that was a very pivotal moment.
I think that was a game changer. I think, you know what, for nothing else, that gave us laughs. I think in a dark world, because we know, right? Like, we know that the people who are sitting in parliament, particularly whoever is at the top of it, does not experience.
The Speaker of Parliament. Who's the Speaker of Parliament?
But they don't experience power cuts, and the way power cuts have been happening in this country, it's been really bad.
This year has been.
Our power cuts are actually insane right now.
How many hours of electricity are you guys getting?
Yep. Of electricity.
Yes.
Of electricity.
If any.
I remember last week Friday, electricity went like for the whole of Sim.
Yeah.
For 3
the
hours.
blackout, yeah.
And that was insane. That the whole country doesn't have power.
Wild.
That was crazy. I don't want to answer your question because I don't know. But I think for us, I would say that was a big moment for us, I think.
The blackout.
I think
it happened more than once, the blackout. I feel like there were 2 blackouts.
Yeah.
Now we're in December, there were 2 blackouts in November, no?
I don't know.
Can you even tell?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
It's either load shedding or it's a blackout.
Or it's a fault.
Either way, we're in the dark. We're in the dark. The bulk of the day.
No Black Friday.
No Black Friday.
You know what? And like, you're right, because we never know. I think for me, I don't.
You never know, because
I
now
never
I suppose
know.
like we're actually privileged because I'm sure like we all have like some sort of backup power.
Yeah.
That enables us to not know when there's a power cut, thankfully. But it's wild.
No, it's crazy.
And my thing is more of the business side of things rather than us like at home. Okay, fair and fine, like in the afternoon there's sunlight, you can do whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
But as a business, how are you surviving? Because it goes during the working hours.
Right.
And there's no way you're going to, okay, let's just say you're a small business and then you buy a generator. You can't.
That's not environmentally.
You can't genga that thing the whole day.
Yeah.
Because even if you use it too often, it still then dies or needs repairs or whatever.
And the cost of it.
And the
because then
cost
that's
of fuel.
It's expensive.
Costs.
And also solar, maybe you work in town where you putting up your solar things and whatever. So I'm just thinking on like a grander like scale, how are people surviving? Because at home, yeah, fair and fine, I'm going to light a candle for the night time. I'm going to use gas to cook and all of that. But as a business, how are you powering up your laptops? How are you powering up your things for work?
You power in the 3 hours that they come at between 1 a.m.
But that's like if I have a shop in town, that's brazy. That's brazy. So I don't know. I don't know what is the plan, to be honest, because I'm also tired of getting excuses like later on, like you have a blackout and then they tell you afterwards, oh, sorry guys, this is what happened. Or you have load shedding for 18 hours. And these days, there's not even a timetable. Beforehand, we'd get like, okay, guys, these are the hours for your area. These are the hours for yours. So that you can at least like iron your clothes for the day.
I feel like now, don't judge somebody who comes to work with unironed clothes, guys, because when? Unless you're ironing with the, I don't know, what are people doing?
Pots.
They're also solar irons.
I will go with creased clothes. I'm not that pressed.
You've never done the pot?
I've never. Girl, because I'd rather like find clothing that doesn't require ironing.
I see.
Okay.
But I'm saying there are solar irons now also. So you can put one in the sun. And then it'll power up and then you'll iron. But I actually think the power cut in the parliament was also a protest. I think somebody did that on purpose. I genuinely think some little kid...
They deserve a raise then.
I think some kid at Zesta said, where are they? Bet. Switched it off. Just so you can see. Like I'm saying, it was like a laughing moment for us. But like, it was also like, please just experience, even if it's for 5 minutes, what it's like to be this every day.
And it's skipped from, they didn't even go to BBC Africa. Let's go to BBC World account tweeting about. I was kind of
Power cut.
But I also felt like sometimes Western media is just waiting for like that something, you know.
Something tragic.
Nah, but I think because they tried to play in our face and say it never happened. And then we said, we know it happened. It's on BBC. That must be true. Okay.
So for those of you who enjoy your chicken in, your pizza in, this year is ending on a high for you guys because y'all are going to be taxed for that.
That was an interesting document. They said it's because of what, health concerns?
Yeah, obesity.
But then, you know what, look, it's
where half the population is starving.
It's in keeping with, remember how they first put a tax on sugared drinks, right?
Yeah.
So we've been, I think it's for 2 years now that we've had a tax on sugared drinks. So, like, it's consistent, right? They're saying we're trying to have you guys healthy. Because also the chicken inns have sprouted.
No,
the
but you
KFCs.
see, that's not just the punishment of corporations to just milk that tax out of them.
Yeah.
Because we are so heavily taxed in this country. The solution of trying to increase the taxes is just...
But also we're playing ourselves. Because when sugar tax came, right, Delta said, don't worry about it. We'll just reduce the amount of sugar.
The amount of sugar, yeah.
Right? Now, Coke don't taste like Coke. Coke tastes like Coke Zero. Alright? And Coke Zero tastes like nothing. And then just Coke Light tastes like nothing, you know? So now, what are they going to do? You know, if I was them, ne? If I sell a burger, may I ask, what is the legal definition of a burger? Alright? If me, I sell you Build-A-Burger. Right, I sell you a patty for 20 cents. I sell you a roll
like
for 10 cents. I sell you lettuce.
Oh, I see.
And then you put it together yourself. Did I sell you a burger or not?
You sold me individual.
I sold you ingredients to make a burger. That's what people are going to be doing. But also, it says, what is it? 0.5%. Yeah. Right. So on, say your meal is $10, that's 50 cents. Or 5 cents. That's not even. But now I'm thinking.
Do you know what I'm saying, Yakawanda? Because there's some people, like, I remember seeing a tweet some years ago of like this Han who had saved like every spare penny she had so she could go and buy a 2-piece, like, I'm just saying, 2-piece at Chicken Inn. And okay, fine. She then, the story was that while she was walking to the combi, some street kid grabbed her food and like she fought the street kid. She's like, I saved my So my point in telling the story is to say that like there's some Zimbabweans who honestly, when they say I'm buying fast food, right, I've really saved to the cent. So now when you are being asked to pay that extra 50 cents, it's like also another 2 days for me to save. Yeah. You know?
Okay. It's just, I mean, we have so few things to enjoy as people in this country. Like, I mean, imagine, you know, people with kids.
Yeah.
You know, your pizza inns and your chicken inns are like one of the different things you can do for your kids now in this country. Because it's not like there's any way for them to go.
Yeah. You can't travel with your kids.
You know, there's no holidays. So now we can't even do Terrific Tuesday because it's now expensive.
$2.50. And imagine you're going into Christmas. How do you put this tax just before Christmas?
No, it's starting in January.
The stress has started now.
It started now.
And also, I had a conversation recently about how Christmas is just not.
Christmas is not here today. It's not here.
You know, because I also had a conversation, and I was speaking to people who work in government. Guys, like my heart broke, right? Because they're like, Christmas is just not the same anymore. One, we don't have electricity. You can't even buy ice cream for your kids. Your kids don't know to shower. They don't know what it feels like to shower.
Or to have a hot
They
bath
always
even.
bath in buckets. No Christmas clothes. Because where do we have the? We don't have the money for that. Like it's just, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Christmas used to be so nice.
I don't think we have a Christmas anymore. I think it's just a day. At this point, if you're able to gather, it will just be a gathering.
I think Christmas only works for certain people, like who have excess.
Yeah.
Like who can afford to
Go on holiday.
Or who can like have a spread on their table of all sorts of food and nice things, open bar, decoration. Like, when was the last time? I don't know when the last time we put up a Christmas tree, like, for example, because like there's no Christmas spirit.
I remember being in I was in, I think Bon Marché or something. I'm in a line. I'm looking at the little Christmas trees, they have in there. I'm like, $79.
Seriously? It's plastic.
I'm like, nah.
The decorations.
For decorations.
Oh
and I'm
my
like, who's going to even put up these decorations?
But I mean, think about it, guys. Remember how by now Sam Levy's would be bright and light. By now, by like
an event even.
Yeah, like that lighting of the tree was a thing at Village back in the day.
And kids would go, like parents would take your kids, like, oh, let's go watch the tree, get lit, let's go to carols,
Christmas carols.
Do kids have that anymore these days?
No,
They do.
I think it depends. I think it depends on the price. I'm say a private school, because remember Chizzy does carols, John's does carols.
But okay, if your child goes to Blake's door,
See, I remember in Bulawayo, in Bulawayo, our Mikos used to be the place during Christmas where there'd be the Father Christmas setup, and there were those little lucky dip things that you'd get, like a little Christmas package, and you'd go and sit on Santa's lap, take a picture. That was,
that was
That used to be white
for everyone.
Yeah, that was Baba's.
And now Baba's is a mall.
Is it a mall? Stanley Mall, baby. It's always a mall.
yeah, it's a mall now.
But
What was the place that we used to get our clothes? Our school uniforms.
that is Baba's.
It's not Stanley Mall. No, it's not Stanley. It's Galaxy Mall.
Did it sell something?
Yes, they saw
Everything.
But don't you guys feel like beyond the obvious economic indicators, there's also the fact that we are older now, and like that Christmas spirit, because to be in Christmas spirit, there was an intentionality. It was usually the older people would actually set the tone, like you see the decorations, the tree, the presents. But then now we're supposed to be doing the admin to make that happen.
But the aunties and uncles don't have money for that.
Yeah,
Because you're looking at a Christmas tree and saying 79.
It's not happening. It's not happening. 79.
79 whole bucks.
But I think it's I you know what? I hear what you're saying, Six, but I think genuinely the people are just exhausted. And I think it's really like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I think even if you look at like, just in general, if you think, I think if it wasn't for the fact that people are tired, I think people would rather go to work. People would rather have things. I think people would rather have, particularly if you're those people who are not like, those of us on a monthly, right? You'll get paid, right? But those that have to work daily.
True.
For them, this is an inconvenience, because that means I have to close shop for 3 days, right? Christmas Eve, I can't work. Christmas, I can't work. Boxing Day is a public holiday, I can't work, right? But I need to sell my domasis. I need to sell my bread. I need to sell,
to be honest, like people will still have their shops open.
Yeah.
I feel like these days, people will still have their shops open. You need clothes on Christmas Day. You go to Stanley Mall and find...
That's actually what I was going to say. The past couple of years, like if you find yourself in CBD on Christmas, it does not feel any different from
I guess that's also the issue where you're now thinking, let me just make money for the holidays. This whole Christmas and what am I getting my kids and all of that is now like at the back of your mind because you're always thinking, I need to make money. Today's a holiday, everyone's coming to town, so I need to be in town. And then the whole Christmas part then goes the other way. Just remembering, do you guys remember that time, I think it was last year Christmas, those kids that were videotaped in town and they were like drunk out of their minds, the 10-year-olds. I was just thinking of them. Last year.
10-year-olds?
Yeah, they were 10-year-olds drinking. They were drinking proper quarts of alcohol. And I was just thinking, maybe the mom was working. Maybe the parents were working. They just gave them Christmas clothes and said,
and gave them money to
be on your way.
Because now these days, kids as young as 10 can go into town by themselves, right? Their parents can just give them, oh, you got $20, go into town, get yourself some chicken in, you know. Next thing, they
buy alcohol.
Buying alcohol.
Who's selling to 10-year-olds? What are you doing?
It's very ruthless.
You know how many liquor stores now are just in town, Jay? Like, a hole in the wall, there's a liquor store.
I'm tired.
I feel like Christmas also in Zimbabwean culture, I think it has different definitions according to socioeconomic classes. Because if you go like my parents and the farms and stuff like that, it's like heavily booze. It's just an excuse to drink and be drunk until like New Year's.
Until the following year.
You know what I'm saying? Then for like people who actually buy into the like Santa Claus and GGG, that's more of like North side type situation. The rest is just like, you buy a bunch of groceries, to get all rice and chicken, and we're all in the same space.
Rice and chicken, crepes,
coleslaw.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I know for definitely like this year's Christmas.
Depressing, actually.
This year's Christmas.
You know, even for the middle class enjoyment that Six is describing, like it's not even there anymore because right now, to me, that just sounds like labor. if I think about Christmas, it's now like, guys, because you're going to be waking up to cook and this and this, and you're talking about teenagers who are not interested. You know, your peers, usually it's a time where people are coming back into the country, your family. I don't know anyone who's around. It's too expensive for our family members who are outside of the country to travel anyway. So it's just become a really depressing day of just like, you know, us trying to make the most of it, but you're just tired. You don't want to do it. Like, I mean, okay, rice and chicken, it's not as exciting as it was when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You're not going to go to a restaurant because it's way too expensive.
But you know, just to speak on that point, like I have a lot of family who's coming through this December, and I'm thinking to myself, like, we're going to outsource Christmas
It's
to
also
them.
that.
Right.
Because they are the ones in the Christmas spirit. You know, we'll hotspot off of their Christmas spirit and like just ride on their wave. Because I don't think here probably you just do a braai and like you chilled. But then they want to do the whole like get the trees and decorate the whole place.
I remember this one time I had a cousin who came from England and we were in Nyanga, right, for Christmas. And because there was no electricity, so obviously, so he's like, what kind of Christmas is this? There's no roast chicken. Because there was no electricity, right? Then we had to cook stove top. So he's like, this is the worst Christmas of my life because we didn't even have roast chicken, bro.
You have your family.
But that just shows because also Christmas is it's rooted also in like consumerism.
It is.
Family, bro.
It is. What of the tension or the dynamic between diasporism coming back December time and, you know, the locals? I always find that interesting.
I think it's exhausting.
It is.
So exhausting. For those of us here, it's really exhausting. Because first of all, they're coming back and they want to do things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sleep. You wanna go?
Let's go out.
No! What you guys doing here?
How are you guys surviving?
I hate that question. I hate
Wait,
that
how much is this? How much is this in pounds?
That's very real.
It's exhausting. I think it's
And the
exhausting.
airport runs, you just be going up and down.
Yeah, also like coordinates when you guys are coming. Because I only need to go once or twice. And you see, and it's your fuel still, and it's you who's taking them around.
Yeah.
It's you who's entertaining.
We love you, diasporans.
Yo, guys,
Maybe come like
earlier in the year, not like now.
December will be over it.
Yeah, and I just think that key December doesn't hit as hard as it used to. Yeah, and maybe it's because we're older, also, so we also just not also in the power life like we used to be, but like it just is not like I'm so who made that? Casper. Remember the one that Casper video that goes around on the 1st of every year? You know, when he's pretending to wake up.
And the Pearl Tuesday one as well.
I saw it twice today.
Yeah, me too.
And that was it. But normally everyone's status is like 1st of December, guys. I saw it twice today. And I saw it twice, and the two people that I saw whose status I saw it on were both DJs. So I didn't see it on anyone else, but I saw it on two DJ statuses. Those are the only people that were excited about it. But I don't know, maybe it is because we're older.
Speaking of salad, since
December
brings coleslaw salad, baby.
I love Cheeto steak.
It's always like, where is she going?
What do you say?
This year was at Tongunima salad. So at Tongunima plus 4.
You know what? I didn't expect that to actually.
But to be honest, that's so fitting to what we were just saying about the general mood between us and the them.
Yeah. Do you know what else happened this year?
Speaking of my salad, there was the skurs in Highland.
Oh, yes.
The skurs saying, no, we don't want the ghetto youths coming to hang out in Highland Park. Like,
Guys, what's so fancy about Highland Park? That's my question.
I think it's more culture. So if you think like when we're teenagers, right? We would go to Avondale was like a sport.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know, there was this sensationalization about that area.
Yeah.
So I think every generation has their little spot where they go like, this is our place.
But if you're making Highland Park your place, right? Now I'm thinking, what's that? But
what's this? The Smash Burger place? Okay, but I'm thinking as a 16-year-old.
Okay.
I don't know.
And to be fair, there's Spur,
there's Seven Rings,
And it's
there's Cafe Noche,
aesthetic.
They can't
take the photos.
The kids can't afford Pariah upstairs, so they're not going up there. They're not going upstairs.
Are the kiddies going to Padenga?
No.
You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked, eh?
You know what? Let me tell you. I think we have the
kiddies 16 and above, they're going there.
Let me tell you. This is what I'm about to say.
Okay, if there are any kiddies listening,
tell us where you go.
Guys,
tell us where you guys go.
For me, I think it's more of, this contrast between the lived experience and Zim. Because we have to ask which kiddies are we talking about.
That's what I was about to say.
There's a certain kind of kiddies who are saying, my kiddo, you get out of here. And
I love the accent.
The affordability of those kiddies is those guys can afford things that you guys can't afford.
We can't afford,
because it's a certain kind of
still, if you are that kid at Highland Park, that's my thing. Like, so where was the rich cheering Highland Park? And I'm just thinking,
guys, No.
Not even village. Not even village. But like,
just like a block.
You know what? To Amanda's point, right? Let me tell you. I went to Mozambique, Chizzy. Right. And there was, where I was sitting, I was surrounded.
Oh, in the restaurant.
The restaurant. Sorry. No. The restaurant in Chizzy PT. Okay. And so where I was sitting, right, I was surrounded by kiddies. Right.
Having dinner.
Having dates.
Yeah.
It was even date night because it was a Friday. Right. And so it was date night for the kids. And then I was like, I don't know why I'm here. I ended up doing a takeaway because I felt so uncomfortable. There was just so many. And you can tell that these are still in high school kids. Right. And they were on little dates, which was cute because I said, oh, right, because I remember being in high school, ain't nobody taking me to no Mozambique. Right?
The best you were getting was Avondale, So
I said, this is cute,
That was
right?
the equivalent.
That was the equivalent. And I said, you know what, this is cute. But like, I watched them all order. All right. Every single table, so there was about 5. Every single table got escargot, which is snails. Everyone got snails as a start.
Aphrodisiac.
And then I was like, in my mind, first of all, I was like, one of these 5 is capping. No one actually likes to eat this. Right. But because, you know, they give you the menu and like you have a starter and then obviously you're going to have your meal or whatever. And you saw snails and you thought this is cute. Like, you know, maybe I watched it in the movies. I don't know. But like somebody was capping. And you, out of the 5 tables, everyone you like. Right. No one actually likes this. And then, it's, you know, the girlies had like the prawns with like calamari, like either the seafood platter or they had fish. None of the girlies had like steak. None of the girlies had like, you know, the dudes had steak and whatever. That's what I'm saying. It's like Mozambique. You're like, you know. And then there was like a dessert. And on my mind, I was thinking. So I was like halfway through. Maybe I went and I got my one.
Just a
right? Just I got my one course. That's why I'm there and my drink, right? And then I know, that's when, you know, whilst you're waiting for your meal, then you start noticing, you know, the people around you. And I was like, this is really interesting. And then I was like, okay, let me leave now. This is getting really uncomfortable. But only because, like I'm saying, it was just, they were young, you know, they were drinking, but even what they were drinking, they were children drinks, right? Like, there was alcohol, but like, yeah, like, even just the way you're ordering it tells me you're not confident about what you're ordering, right? But I could, in my mind, I also said the privilege of being able to come to Mozambique, to afford to go to Mozambique, whether or not you had to do 3 courses on a date.
How much would that be? Like a 3-course, like what you described?
The snails are $8. I can tell you the snails are $8. If you get like a seafood platter, it could be like maybe $16 depending on what you get. But like the prawns, if you get like if you get the 6 king prawns, the 6 queen prawns with like one side, that's about $12. Right, 12 to 16. If you go 8, that's a bit more. If you do the seafood platter for 2, that's $38. The drinks are about $12, depending on what you're getting. If you get like a Long Island,
so
about
$100.
Yeah,
minimum spend for two
people. Exactly. That's exactly what I said.
You guys. I know you guys. It's not the kids.
It's the parents.
Like, I mean, even there was the prom season with these private school kids.
Excuse me.
Like, I used to, one of my nail techs, like my old nail techs, there was like prom season time where she'd be like just doing nails. So this one time I was there and there's this girl. First of all, she looked like, maybe she's in her 20s, whatever. The stories she's talking about, it's like, girl, you're in your 20s. Meanwhile, she's like, oh yeah, I just came from like convent. I just, I just finished. Her set is like a $50 set, yeah? And I'm there like, the most affordable set. She's like, oh yeah, add Diamante.
Diamante tenders.
And this was not even a set for like prom. She's like, oh, we were done with prom. I had my prom set 2 weeks ago. Now I'm changing.
Dude, even if you see everyone, I hear like Julie was busy.
Yeah.
Right? For prom season. And I'm thinking, for Julie to set you a wig, just to put it on your head.
And to spray glue.
$100.
You see?
Just to place it there. And then you have your makeup artist who charge you per. What is it? A stroke of the brush, right? And you can say, you know what? It's a splurge because it's prom, right? Like you want to say that, but you know it's not. You know this is
the lifestyle.
This is the lifestyle, right? Just the wigs themselves were extensive. But then I'm thinking, I remember laughing with my coworker saying, do you know what I wore at my dances? We're the grade 7, we're the form 4, we're the upper 6.
Those were very simpler times.
Those were simpler times, I agree. Honestly, for my form 4, I remember there was no electricity.
When has there ever been electricity?
There was no electricity.
Because the further we go.
So I remember carrying eyeliner in the car. My mom had come to pick me up. She's like, get ready. By 5:30, I'm coming to get you from home and then I'll drop you off. So there was no electricity. Okay, now I can't put makeup yet. The only thing I knew of makeup was eyeliner. I drew that eyeliner in the car using the car lights. That was how, that was form 4 prom for me.
And you looked cute. Yeah. You look cute, chef.
And I wore a dress. I think my aunt was like, oh, I have this a small dress that I bought, thinking I'd fit into it. Here you go. Didn't even spend a dime.
What about your promposal and the car that you went in? Because these guys are going in G-Wagons and this and that. Yeah.
So these are the kids that are saying we don't want the ghetto youths in Highland Park.
I think it's a lot to do with social media as well. Things need to be IG worthy. Okay, the meal, even if you don't like snails, as long as it looks good on a reel and stuff like that. And that whole pressure, and then even because if you go even across the border to SA private schools, it's even
that's worse.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to
also
match up.
because they're in a place where a lot more of them can maybe afford. But here, it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 schools. 5-6 schools that are having these elaborate proms, whatever. Everybody else is just. Yeah.
So that's Zim. Half of us can't afford to do anything. The other half are running out of what to do with their money.
What else happened this year? Did he?
Did he do it?
Oh, he definitely did.
Not Diddy, guys.
There was Diddy, there was Balthazar, African Diddy.
Who the F did I marry?
There was Legion. Okay. So the men did a lot.
A mother. An absolute mother.
And I think, to be fair, go listen to the previous episodes. We've talked about Balthazar, we talked about Diddy, we talked about... Did we talk about
Diddy? We talked about Legion.
We did talk about Legion.
Yeah, so go find our
Diddy, we might have touched on
I think we did a bit.
Because me and Hannah talk about
This
that.
year was also Drake versus Kendrick.
Yay, they not like us.
And now Drake is suing Kendrick. Yay! Well, he's not
Really?
suing Kendrick.
Yeah.
He's suing Universal Music Group.
Why?
So
For
he's
pushing,
suing them
not
for
like
2
us.
things.
Really?
Right.
Oh,
so
come
he's
on,
saying. So Drake is saying Universal Music Group was using bots and fake accounts to promote Not Like Us. Right. So
That was just a banger shot.
that the streams were not real streams. Right.
What
And then
the floor
Let's stream this.
Oh I promise you.
Frivolous lawsuit is this? Because what is the ground?
Okay, but here's the thing. I saw something on TikTok which kind of explained it, right? Which is that Drake is currently in negotiations.
With Universal?
With Universal, right? So that he gets his paper up, right? And now they are saying, but see, he's trying to get his paper up on the premise that he's the best-selling artist for Universal. And they're saying, actually...
You're not, nigga.
Not really, because you see, K-Dot...
came up with one hit.
Exactly. So that devalued, plus your reputation after the beef took a knock, right? So we know how much you want to be paid, but you're overvaluing yourself, right? So now he's saying, no. So you guys did it on purpose. You sabotaged me on purpose because you knew I was coming into contract negotiations, right? So you made K-Dot more valuable so that my price goes down or it doesn't go up as much, which kind of makes sense. But however, he now is suing them also for pushing the fact that he is a pedo. Right. So he recently filed this.
Pushing it how?
So because he promoted Not Like Us, and K-Dot said, use a pedo, Universal put a stamp of approval and you approved him saying that I'm a pedo. But then, obviously, the narrative is going to be, but you said K-Dot was an abuser, right? And we let you put that out also. So the two cancel each other out.
Rose eyes.
Right. So that is, but he's being a...
Can we also talk about the depth of investment that people had with this beef? Because okay, all right. But some of our brothers, I don't know, since you'll tell us from the hip hop community side,
all the way to
Zimbabwe.
I actually didn't know how deep it was until I lost friendships over some random guys in America. I'm like, because I was trolling, right? Because I was really super team Drake, so I'd be on the timeline really. So then people would be coming back, but I'm like, well, we're just just going back and forth over it. This is not a real situation. We don't know these guys, and we're probably fans of both of them. Anyway.
Probably.
But then now peeps are actually taking it nah.
He's your homeboy.
Exactly. Because actually... It became a question of identity. Because Kendrick and Drake sort of started to represent two forms of masculinity that we have in the world right now. And then you have your Kendricks who are we're so mature and family and we're woke and this. And then there's the Drakes where it's we're about the cash haters. Oh my God. I've heard conversations that are so deeply invested and I'm like, but people really take it as a sense of my identity as a person to say that I'm a Drake. I've been with Drake since this thing. I've been with him.
Okay.
And then people who feel betrayed by Drake's transition. People who feel bored by Kendrick's preachiness. And I'm like, wow.
But think of it how people are super invested in football. Football teams.
And don't say people.
Men. So
you guys could obsess over your wives and your girlfriends the way you obsess over niggas. Obsess over niggas.
Which is actually, you know what? I would have taken it seriously if Drake was American.
Okay.
Right. And I say that because understanding the gang culture and
the hip hop
culture in America. That makes sense to me because then if it was an East Coast, West Coast thing, I would have been you know what, that makes sense, right? Why is America and Canada fighting? America and Canada.
That's the problem.
What are you fighting
That's why they don't like Drake. The real reason why Drake is super hated because he's Canadian and dominating would be American. Because Kendrick represents the gangster, quintessential.
So what are you mad? This is what I'm saying, but what are you mad about? That's what I'm saying. Because for me, it didn't make sense because
it's like how people are mad at Tyler for coming through from South Africa and she has an accent and now she's this girl.
You know what? I think just Americans don't understand Tyler. Remember when she said, and to be fair, it is a cultural thing. Because remember when she says, I'm so obsessed with Coke? Right? And she really meant Coca-Cola. And then the Americans were like, she's a drug addict. She's like, oh no. Actually, guys, let's explain it to you. But also when Rihanna said, guys, go out and vote. If I could, I would go stand in line all night, right? And then they said, the fact that we're letting illegals vote. And she said, I'm not even voting. I'm just saying go vote. But the amount of hatred that came on her
don't
way.
like people who are not American who are doing well.
And I think it's doing well in America. Which is really where the problem is. But again, why men are obsessed with men, that is a different conversation, just in general. That we need to one day deep dive into.
And let's also not forget that these two men were engaging in poem writing to each other. It's probably the most romantic thing you could do, you know? Because you know how they say that the opposite of love is in hate? It's so like, you know, I hate you, man. I hate you, fucking man.
The way you walk.
That's funny.
You even deeping the way he walks, the way he talks.
You started checking him out.
I think it's like, I think dudes in general, we like to see clashes. Like we invest in like, I pick this side, you pick that side, they clash. The bish of it all. Whether it's soccer, whether it's rap, whether
I think you've put it.
That's actually a good point. You get Okay, so as we know, this year has been long. There's so many other things that happened this year that we could go into. I want to know on a personal level, as we wrap up, give me. Are you listening? You're gonna have to give me
assignments.
Listen.
I think just tell us one thing we need to.
No. Give me.
Way too hot for that.
Give me. I want a highlight and then I want a low point. I want a peak and I want a pit.
What if there was no peak?
If there's no peak, then you say there's no peak. But surely, you know, one good thing must have happened. Just one.
I don't remember.
Okay, but here that's what I want. I want a peak. I want a pit. Let's go.
For me, it was just the pits.
The whole year was a pit. The whole year.
That's
You
what
just
I'm
said
saying.
too. Wasn't that good? Was that good for you? No? Okay. Never mind, that was a pit. Okay. But can I tell you, actually, in Chinese astrology, this was a horrible year for you, me, and Amanda. Right? So we were born in 1994, which is the year of the dog. This year was the year...
we were really dogging it out.
This year was the year of the dragon. This year was the year of the dragon, and in astrology, the dragon year and the dog year are opposed. So the people born in the dragon year had a great year this year, and those of us born in the dog year...
we were in the
But yeah, so this year we were predicted to have a really...
So are we going to have a good year next year?
No. But it's not going to be... It's not an enemy year, so it's not going to be as hard. It's not going to be a great year. It's not going to be, you know... But it's going to be better than it was this year.
I will say, though, there were some highlights.
Thank you.
I won't lie, like there were some really nice highlights, but then I want to think about this year, I just like this year was...
I just remembered something about this year. Collective trauma.
Yes, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. When I think about this year, I think about that collective trauma, and it just like overshadows like any kind of peak that happened in my life this year. Because there were peaks, I won't lie.
But I feel like after the collective trauma, that should be a highlight as well.
What?
Just the... yeah. That was a highlight.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it was like for 2 seconds. I don't know. I didn't feel...
No, that was
What a year.
Never mind. So in 60 have a
peaks, highlights, a lot of highlights. Career-wise, I really had a good year.
Yeah.
I had a good year.
You came out this year, right? On the podcast.
Yes.
My bad. I shouldn't even deny it.
What's good? But yeah,
You transitioned from MMV to
NMV.
To Sixth
Yeah,
Law.
Sixth Law. Yesterday, Valentine's Day,
A lawyer.
it's been like, you're no longer MMV. Yeah.
Valentine. Was that the same? No. Was it the same?
Valentine's, during Valentine's. Shout out to Valentine.
Yeah.
The rose petals. That was this year. Oh my gosh.
That was this year.
The rose petals.
Yeah, good year around creatively. Did a big festival, so super happy about that. The lows, there's just one low, but then it's like, it is what it is, you know. Cue the music, But yeah, in general, it wasn't night yet.
It was an okay, yeah.
Amanda, you were not one of the dog.
I don't know what my year was.
I did good this year, I think.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
I think this year was
You got
good.
a ring on your finger.
I mean, it was that, but
It's been a really
Career-wise,
interesting year for me. I've been working, guys. I've been working. This year feels like the other side of my life. I don't know if that makes sense.
like turning the corner.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not 30 or anything. But like,
Wait, when
I'm not.
yes, you will be.
you will be 30.
In fact, I will not, because that's tomorrow.
No.
Okay, but speaking from like, I mean, I'm not 30.
No, speak to us as if you have already turned 30.
I can't even fathom going that far in my life.
In the next 48 hours, you will fathom it. So it's okay.
Okay, anyway, a lot has changed. Career-wise, I think my transition from, being at a law firm and becoming an advocate is like ripened. I am dropping my last name officially, and that's like a whole new start to a different life. 2024.
You have a new job?
I have what's my job?
An additional job.
Oh yes, I now lecture students, which is a whole new challenge altogether. So I feel like, a lot is starting. You feel you have goals, and now I'm at that stage where I'm like, okay, now I'm here. What's next for me? Where do I go? So 2024, it's been tough, but I think I've been working. I think I'm really proud of myself this year. I feel like,
You did good.
we tried, we survived.
In a year that was supposed to kill you, it did it.
Right?
You did good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're here, we're still living. I'm grateful for a lot. I think I've grown, guys. I feel like, I mean, not 30, but I've grown. I've grown quite significantly. Not as far as you guys, but it's goodbye.
31-year-olds are shaking their heads.
It's goodbye to my 20s, and I'm into it. I thought I'd be scared of this auntie-womany era, but I like
with
it.
aunties, we're cool, right?
Yeah, you guys have helped me see that it's not that bad. But
it's life,
I don't care.
It's life.
I mean, how was the year for you?
I think it was mid. I don't have like highlights. Yeah, it was just a year. I feel like I'm just cruising through now. It's just like, okay, it's 2024, it's 2025. Please keep going. I don't. Lowlights, yeah, they were quite a bit. Just living in Zimbabwe, guys.
perpetual low lights.
Perpetual low lights, but I guess it's more of like, what are you doing to just
make it
ignore and keep moving?
Yeah.
Because some things you can't even make better, so you're just like, you know what, I'm just going to keep going here for a purpose, just leaving this part. But yeah, I guess it was mid. I don't think I had any highlights. Yeah, it was an okay year. I'll give it a C.
Dang, just
You passed. Barely.
And Kuda, to close us off?
This year really was the year of the dog for me. And I think they definitely were highs. But like Chido said, I think the pits just overshadowed the fact, like the highs where, you know, you really want to be, like, there's so much to be grateful for, guys. Like, there really is good things that did happen, I'm sure. Someplace, sometime. I'm sure it happened.
No, of course.
I'm sure they were more. And I turned 30 this year, and actually, I think, like Amanda said, even though she has now turned 30, I dreaded it for a long time, but when it came,
you embraced it.
I was like, guys, I'm 30. You know what I mean? I was actually quite excited, but then what the people didn't tell you, which is now I'm telling Amanda, your body shuts down, and it's almost immediately. Right? And I'm telling you now, and funny enough, because when mine did, right, now I was talking to people and I was like, guys, all this is happening, right? Like health-wise, the last 2 months for me were hell. Now I'm talking to people and everybody's like, yeah, no, as soon as I turned 30, my body did this. Or as soon as I got fibroids, I got this. Oh, I got this. And I said, now how come nobody told me this the day before my birthday?
But
like,
then what were you going to do?
I don't know. Like, prepare. You know what? I think when my health happened, like when my health declined, I was so unprepared for it. Right? Because I didn't understand. I didn't know. It just for me was, and like I'm saying, it happened, if not immediately, right? That I was so shook, right? And in my mind, I just thought, you know, as a lupus, maybe. And then I realized, no, this had nothing to do with it. This was just the body just saying, you're 30 now, right? Like the hormones just started doing their own thing. Everything just started going really badly, right? And for 2 months, I was just really down bad health-wise. And it really just happened so instantaneously. And everybody said, oh no, that happened to me too. That happened to me too. And I said, well, why ain't nobody say this is going to happen when you turn 30? And I was just so unprepared. And I think the mental strain came from being unprepared.
Yeah.
If I knew, I think mentally I would have been in a better place. Right. But yeah, no, I wouldn't give this year an F. It just did not do what it was supposed to do this year. And fingers crossed, I'm really hoping but I think I'm now on the other side of it. Of 20, I think I'm like, I'm now on, I can see there's a path. There's finally like a pathway. I think a lot of the things that traumatized us went away. And
Amen.
Thank God. I think there's now, I can see things, like doing things and they're sticking. Because there were moments where it felt like I was just throwing things out and they just were like hitting the wall and bouncing off. But now I think things are starting to stick a bit. I think now I'm seeing a bit of light. So I'm not going to rate 2025. I'm just going to let it play out. But I think I'm not in as bad of a state as I thought I was going to be. But I am hell exhausted. And I am looking forward to a guilt-free holiday, right? I'm looking forward to sleeping and not thinking or feeling bad that I'm not working, that I'm not doing anything, that I'm not being active, that like there's something that I should be doing. I actually really, like this December, I really want to like switch off and rest and sleep and get out of this country. Amen to the amen.
You know, I won't lie. I didn't really speak about the laws, but you've raised something that I've seen across the board, especially for our age group, where there's this existential dread of, feeling like you're not where you're supposed to be, feeling like you've been putting in all this work and nothing is sticking, nothing is pulling through. While you understand that globally things are not the same for us as they should have been, you still feel like, am I on the right path? Am I in the right place? Am I making the right choices? Why are things not working out? Why are things just getting harder? I remember feeling like, because I remember there was the time where we really talked about this thing about being in Zim or not being in Zim. And it's this feeling of just being behind, of being left behind in this experience of life. You're like, shouldn't I be like thinking about owning properties now? But you're like, you're barely able to even sustain yourself. Shouldn't I be starting a family, having kids? And you're like, I'm still a baby. I can barely take care of myself.
Teenage pregnancy.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. But, what I've learned from this year is, perspective is really important, and sort of taking control of your perspective of life, because, that can change the difference between a good year and a bad year.
Right.
And guys, 2025, I want to claim it and go in and just, do the things.
Please, can someone listen to our New Year's episode and then this one and come tell us if we said, because I remember when you said we claim it,
the same energy.
when Amanda said claim it, I remember her saying in the beginning of the year, like, this is gonna be mine, I'm gonna claim it, I'm gonna take it. I said, right, okay. I don't remember what I said.
I don't remember.
Whatever I said, just go listen and tell me.
It was called New Year, New Me.
Shame.
I feel like we were even like we were so young.
Shame.
Only we knew. But you know what? I actually think it's so great to have something to compare to. Like going back to our first episode of the year and now this being the last episode of the year.
Because I just want to hear if we still have the same energy.
I can No, but I do think, you know what? It's so good to be able to say, this is where we came from.
Yeah.
And what we achieved, what we didn't achieve.
I'm proud of us.
I'm actually proud of us. I think we've done well. I think we did well this year. So this is the last episode of the year. We are wishing you a Merry Christmas and we will see you in the new year. Bye.
Shameless plug. New Six the Law album, 26th December.
Hey, Boxing Day, Baba.
Day. Handle with care.